It doesn't claim to be the world's biggest air show, but it is widely regarded as the best. After their runaway success at the last Farnborough 2 years ago, the Soviets are here in even greater strength. Their increasing presence exemplified by Mriya, the world's largest and heaviest aircraft, the AN-225. With this and their two top fighters, the MiG-29 and the Sukhoi Su-27, and the world champion woman aerobatic pilot, they're here to steal the show again. Of course, the competition is stiff. It comes from the best the West has to offer, and it includes a whole team of Harriers, the CF-18 Hornet, and much else. Concorde was parked alongside Mriya, the AN-225, but that wasn't Mriya's only connection with supersonic travel. During the show, British Aerospace announced that they were examining a way of launching their planned HOTOL spacecraft from the back of Mriya at 35,000 feet. HOTOL's only a model. Mriya's name may mean dream, but she's definitely for real, all 600 tons of her. Well, that's her maximum takeoff weight anyway, and it's more than half as much again as a big 747. Most of that weight is taken on these main wheels, 7 pairs on each side, 28 in all, plus the 4 nose wheels. The man looking pretty pleased with himself here is the Antonov chief designer, Pyotr Balabuyov. And this is not the Antonov stand in one of the exhibition halls, it's the belly of Mriya. It's 140 feet long, easily long enough to fit a stretched Hercules fuselage inside. The flight deck looks as if it would be good for a reasonable-sized party as well. No sign of the glass cockpit, though, which is interesting because first flight was only 2 years ago, and Western aircraft of comparable age are nearly all TV screen instrumentation rather than these sorts of conventional dials. But of course, everybody wants to see Mriya. So as the 6 Lotarov D-18T turbofans wind up, they're each producing more than 51,000 pounds of static thrust. That's about the same as for a 747 engine, but of course there are only 4 of those. The outer engines are kicking up the dust because they're well over the grass, despite the Farnborough runway's 150-foot width. That wingspan is nearly 290 feet. That would just fit along the length of the pitch at Wembley. But since Mriya's 273 feet long, she'd overlap the width at Wembley by 50 feet. Those lumps on top are where the mounting frames would fit for carrying a spacecraft, whether British, Soviet or American or whose ever. And that's also the reason for the twin tail fins, so they don't get in the way. As she tips down on final approach, you can see the more than 2/3 span of the slats on the leading edge. Antonov say that with the maximum payload she needs a runway length of more than 11,000 feet. No problems today when she's virtually empty. A nice kick-off of the drift at the last minute and Mriya settles back onto the runway. But not for long though. There she goes again, test pilot Alexander Galinenko clearly enjoying himself.